This is football analysis, and I'm here with
Austin United.
concerning the match today. How was the match today?
Well, it was a boring afternoon. I think, of course, I will do with the 3 points, but nonetheless, it was a boring afternoon. It was a poor showing from Manchester United and Everton. Not impressive at all, but 3 points, okay, we can do with that.
All right, we got 2 penalties in the first half. Why did we get the penalty?
Well, I felt like, looking at the way Everton were playing, they had too many errors in them. You could see the errors they were making even from midfield down to the defense. Reckless tackle, whether in the box or out of the box. So you just know that at some point of the game, they were going to concede a penalty or even get a red card. I was surprised they didn't get a red card. But of course, we could have even gotten 3 penalties in the first half. I think there was this Mykolenko's handball that was overlooked by the referee. But I understood that. But Everton had too many errors in them. So I wasn't surprised with the number of penalties we got. So it's just too many errors from Everton.
All right, judging from your pattern of play today, what is really your pattern of play today?
Well, you could see that Everton was not that team that we could counter. You get it? I mean, it's going to be embarrassing, shameful for us to be waiting for Everton and then to come into our own half and then we counter them. So we needed to come out and play Everton, which we couldn't. So that was why the entire game was disjointed, like a Desica, no cohesion. It was just empty. You get it? So you cannot even pinpoint a pattern of play from the team today. It was just a get-go game. Everybody go, whatever it is you can do with the ball, do it, and then we had the penalties, and then the goals came and we scored. Not so much.
All right, Bruno sharing the penalties and into him and Rashford. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you can see that throughout the entire season, Marcus Rashford has been very low on confidence, and Bruno being the captain and having scored the penalty in today afternoon, he just felt like, okay, it's a captain's responsibility to make sure his teammates are up and doing. So he gave the ball to Marcus Rashford to boost his confidence. And congratulations to him. I mean, he scored it, which was okay. And it was a fantastic penalty. I mean, beautiful. So it was okay. It was a good thing from Bruno to pass the penalty to Marcus Rashford. It was a captain's this thing, so it was okay.
There's something they did today. I found out that they did the same thing against City. Coming out on second half, once they pass the ball, all of them will go back. And today again, they repeated the same thing. Do you think it's a coach advice, or is it their pattern of play to go back and allow their opposition play, have the ball?
Well, I think that is just a training ground routine. If you look at the players we have, there are players that are more they like running into spaces. You get it? So we like to soak the game in, create spaces, or watch out for spaces and then run into them. That's what we always want to do. We want to invite pressure. I call it we inviting pressure to ourselves. So once you invite the pressure, the opponent, it will seem as if to them they are controlling the game. Meanwhile, we are very much aware of what we are doing. Try to look for the spaces and then, boom, we've countered them and then we have our chances, probably score.
All right. So if you check the defense today, what do you have to say about the defense today? Because most likely they would have conceded 2 or 3 goals today, but I don't know how they managed without Andre Onana's performance today. So what do you have to say about that too?
Well, I have 2 players that I think were excellent today, if I'm to use excellent for them, not good. And they are Johnny Evans and Andre Onana. The rest were just being the way they've always been. And like I said in our last post-match interview concerning Manchester United, we are always conceding chances. It has nothing to do with big or small teams. It's just our nature this season. We concede too many chances and too easily and successively. There is no breaks. We keep conceding chances after chances after chances. I mean, Everton were woeful today in front of goal. We didn't keep that clean sheet because we were fantastically defensive or we were perfectly defensive. It was because Everton themselves were not clinical. They were creating poor chances for their centre forward, and so like I said, it was a boring afternoon. I mean, low quality showing from the 2 sides. A Premier League game should be of more standard quality than that. You get it? I mean, but then we came out with 3 points, and then the defense came out with clean sheet. So, well, we can just do with it. I mean, it's a good thing. So why not?
All right, interchangeably, you guys interchanged your front line into substituting McTominay in place of Rashford, just like the other match. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think Ten Hag not having somebody to compete with Marcus Rashford has to create a system that will carry Marcus Rashford. You know, he's been a passenger all season. You get it? Now, what we have to do, we have to put those players that is going to be as if we are supporting the gaps that he's leaving behind. And that's why McTominay has to come in. You can see the way he was running. He was box to box. Even if you look at the way Kobe was playing today, Kobe was a little bit leaning towards Marcus Rashford's angle. Why? Everybody's trying to cover his like a dassical and complacent attitude on the pitch. And it's just a shame that we don't have anybody on the bench to kind of come in and then put him and replace him. So that's what we are trying to do. And if you look at the way we played today, you can see that even Garnacho was rotating around the entire front, trying to make sure that every angle of the front three is active. You get it? So Marcus Rashford is just that player that is making, or should I say, creating lapses for our system. And I think Ten Hag right now is trying to like fill that hole. It's going to be difficult. I mean, it's the Premier League. It's like you playing 10 against 11 without a red card. But I mean, you don't have a choice. So you have to find a system that kind of carries that hole inside of it, and then we can then see what we can do.
90% of the front balls, 90% of the attack was started with Bruno Fernandes. Do you think Bruno had a decent game today?
Well, as it has always been, he's the focal point of all chances we are always creating. You get it? If he doesn't create chances, we don't score. We rarely score if he doesn't create chances. So I'm not too surprised that he was the point or the focal point of all our attacking passes today. It has always been like that since he came in, even during Ole, during Michael Carrick, and then now, what's his name, Ten Hag's era. You have to play through Bruno. He's the only creative midfielder we have at the moment. We bought Mason Mount to see if there's going to be a little bit of to spice that role up. But it's a shame that Mason Mount has been injured all season. So, I mean, it's expected that Bruno should carry the day, attacking-wise.
All right, Casemiro absorbed some pressures and some really passed him by. And even Kobe Mino, all of them, most of them were silky on board today. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, looking at Casemiro's display today, I feel like he was a little bit reserved. I think he was trying to not play into the referee's book.
He missed a lot of chances. He missed a lot of passes.
No. That's the nature of Casemiro's game. I don't expect too many accurate passes from him. What I want from him is to win the first balls, the first area duels, and then to win ground duels. That's what I expect from Casemiro. When it comes to passes completion, I leave that to maybe Kobe Mino, not even Bruno, because Bruno is always looking to create chances, so he's going to have a lot of wasted balls. But Casemiro, I don't expect too many passes completed from him. What I expect is to make sure he covers the defense, win area duels, win ground duels, and then have a solid performance all round, which I think he fairly did today because he was trying to shy away from the referee's book, not getting the yellow card as it has always been. So I think that affected his game a little bit. He was not really playing in his full elements today. And, well, it's okay. We got the 3 points, so it's okay.
All right. Onana coming out now, displaying a better performance than before. Do you think he's coming out of his shell now?
Well, you see, Onana has always has this coordination to his game. But because of the way the season has started for us, it has been so inconsistent. We've been so inconsistent with results, with performance. So you cannot really get the real deal out of Onana. But I think if you look at our last 7 games, I think we've only lost 2 games in the last 8, and we've lost twice this year, City and Fulham. So looking at how Onana has been performing, you can see he's now getting the consistency to his game. You get it? So he'll get better with time. He'll get better with time. It has shown that he'll get better with time.
What do you have to say about Garnacho's loss of chances and decision making not really being good these days?
Before we scored the goal, his decision making was all right. But immediately we were 2 goals up, he started to look for a goal himself. That was why his decision making became very poor afterwards. And then I'm not surprised. I mean, every attacking player wants to score. and it's the same for Garnacho. So that was why his decision making became very awful. He was trying to score, not wanting to pass, or passing too late when immediately he feels like shooting was no longer the decision to make. So I think that was why he was just a little bit awful decision-wise today.
All right, so generally, what can you say about the team today? Is it a good play today or not?
I think it's one to forget. It's one to forget. It's not impressive. I don't want to say bad, but it's just not impressive. I think we can do better. We have quality on the pitch today to do better. Even if Everton were not as good as they supposed to be, Manchester United being the home team, we should do better. And we didn't today. Bearing the 2 penalties, we didn't score any open play goal. And that's nothing to write home about. I don't think it's good. Since we lost Hojlund to injury, we've not been scoring. I think that's bad. We should have goals in the team, not just in the striker. We should have goals in the team. We need to create goals and make sure other players score. You get it? So, well, it's okay. 3 points, clean sheets. We can go with that.
Who is your man of the match?
I'll go with Johnny Evans. I'll go with Johnny Evans because he was fantastic. He was commanding. His voice was loud. His experience was overwhelming today. So I'll go with Johnny Evans for my man of the match.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Please don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Football Analysis. And also, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Still Football Analysis. Thank you guys for watching and keep streaming.